Hey everybody, welcome to our Turkish Get Up tutorial. Now, I'd like to start this video off by saying that there are many different variations of this exercise. The one I'm about to demonstrate to you is the way that I teach it myself and the way that I have found to make the most sense. If you find a different variation of it that makes more sense for you, or you think it's a little bit easier to understand, that's completely fine. This is just one way to do it. I think that this movement in particular is one of those ones that there is no right and wrong with it. It's just a matter of finding something that works for you. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to teach it one specific way, and I'll give you reasoning behind each component of it. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to demonstrate it from a couple of different angles, then we're going to break it down into 7 different components and work each one of those individually. So, I hope it's something that you can relate to, and that it can be a part of your training in the future. So, here we go. Turkish Get Up. Okay guys, so now that you've seen what a rep looks like, we're going to break it down into those 7 different components that I talked about and work each one individually. So, step 1 is going to be your setup position. That's going to be where you start the movement essentially. So, let's talk about how we get in there. First of all, the placement of the bell. When I grab a hold of the bell, I'm going to want it to run at about a 45-degree angle down from my index finger down to the heel of my hand right here. Okay, so when I grab it, I'm going to stick my hand deep into the handle here so that it's running down in that angle that we just talked about. So I grab it here, and then I'm going to roll in and grab it with 2 hands. So it's important to remember that in the beginning, like when you're using lightweight and you're first learning this movement, it's normal, people will like grab the bell here and try to pull it in. That puts your shoulder in a really bad position and it can lead to injury down the road, so we're trying to avoid that. So, hand comes in, grab a hold of it with 2 hands, and then I'm going to roll it over onto my chest. So, once I have it here, next step is to get it up over my chest. So, there's 2 options here. I can press it straight up, if I want to work a little bit of arm strength, or as it starts to get heavier and heavier, I can use 2 hands to push it up. So, once I have it over my chest, nice straight line, I'm going to bend the same leg that's holding onto the weight. So, when I'm in this position, this is your beginning position. So if you look at it from this angle, my foot is slightly outside my hip, bell is straight up over my shoulder, and my left hand is out at a 45-degree angle. This is essentially step 1. So, after we're in that position, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be holding it out over my chest, and then there's a couple of different things that are happening. So when I'm here, I'm going to push through my leg that's flat on the floor, punch the bell up to the ceiling, and try to get up onto my left elbow. So essentially it's going to be kind of a diagonal crunch at a 45-degree angle. So when I'm here, I'm going to push across this way and get up onto that left elbow, okay? So, let's talk about the numbers again. So 1, pushing across, 2. So, once I get into this position, the next step is to get my left hand straight and close to my hip so that I have a little bit more control. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to push brace through this leg and get up onto my left hand and simultaneously move my left hand in a little bit closer to my hip. So here I have a good base of support and to help me work into the next step. So again, if I'm going from the bottom, I'm on my elbow, I'm going to come up till that hand is straight. And this is essentially step 3. Okay, so once I get into this position, I'm going to keep my abs tight, push hard through my left hand and my right leg, and lift my hips up. So, here, this is number 4. You'll notice that when I push my hips up, it creates a little gap for my left leg, and that creates room for step 5. So what I'm going to do is slide this foot back, through, and then I'm here in step 5. So notice the blade of my foot stayed flat to the floor as I dragged it through. So when I was here, there's plenty of room to drag through. So I come through here and I'm in my base position. 5. So when I come to 6, I'm going to brace my abs and use them to rotate into the bottom of a lunge. And that's essentially step 6. And then to go back down, I would do the same thing. I rotate down. Let my hand touch the floor. Okay, so I'm on the floor again, and then I rotate back to the base of my lunge in step 6. To finish the movement, I'm just going to push through that front leg and stand up. Okay, and then to go back to the floor, so this is number 7. Last step, and then I'm just going to reverse the whole movement back. So knee touches the floor. Then I rotate down to the side. So one thing I thought I'd mention, guys, is when I rotate down to the side, notice I'm not sitting back onto my heel. I notice this happens a lot when people are learning it initially, and it's virtually impossible to get that left leg through. So when I'm here, first thing I do is I rotate down. There's still that hole to pass my foot through, so then I put my foot back through, flat to the floor, sit down, and as I'm coming back to the floor, I'm going to go elbow first, still have control, and then lie back down. 2 hands to lower the bell, and there we go. So those are the 7 steps. Again, just to quickly recap. So I'm down in the bottom position. 1, push up onto my elbow. 2, going to come up onto that straight hand and get it close to my hip. 3, then I'm going to lift my hips up, creating that hole. 4, pull my leg through. 5, rotate into the bottom of the lunge. 6, and then stand up to finish. 7. And you'll notice that the bell is staying straight up over my head the whole time. Whole time through the movement, it's going to be staying up. And it's probably a good idea to keep your gaze on the bell. There's a concept that applies to all other weightlifting movements that, like, if you have weight over your head and you look down, then the weight's going to come forward. Equally, if you look too far up, it's going to go off. So it's exactly the same here. If I have this over my head and I'm looking down, it's essentially going to get out of my center of gravity and not be able to control it. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Plenty more to come. Drop a comment if you like. If not, all good. I'll see you guys in the gym.